Stand up on your feet for Frannie Wilson and Nichole Schoner.
There's my team right there laughing at my SpongeBob dance moves. I don't know what this is. Oh my gosh, Shantae, was that amazing? It was like the most perfect pep talk for us before we came up here on this stage, because we've been a little nervous, and earlier in the green room, she was giving me a little pep talk, and she's like, just be yourself, and then she like dropped it on the stage up here, and it was just perfect. But anyway, welcome everybody to Boise, Idaho. I can't believe you guys came here just for us. We are here in Boise, and we're born and raised, and we cannot believe that we're on the stage talking to you guys at Craft and Commerce.
So wild. When they asked us about giving a talk here, they just said, we were inspired by your story, and we know that our audience will be too. Just tell them all of the things that you've learned, what you figured out about being a creative and building a business. I mean, there's no secret formula on how to make it as a creative entrepreneur. I mean, we're just kind of building this plane as we fly it. Anyone else?
Yeah. All right, so they asked us to tell our story. So it starts in 2009. This is Nichole and I in college at our senior portfolio show. We graduated in the middle of a recession, and nobody was hiring designers at the time. So we launched our business at our portfolio show instead of showing our portfolio to potential jobs. Ampersand Studios, a branding and marketing agency. But somebody asked us to photograph their wedding. And then we accidentally photographed 350 more over the next 10 years. But we were graphic designers, so why not design wedding invitations for all these people too, right? So we had a wedding invitation business, which led to us also sort of accidentally purchasing a brick and mortar paper store that was going out of business, mostly because we wanted the paper cutter. Enter paperine pen. But that was super boring. We were actually selling like bulk reams of paper and like boxes and pallets of paper to businesses and schools and stuff. So we rebranded it into a luxury stationery and gift shop. And then a year later, we upgraded to a big, beautiful location, 4,000 square feet of tiny journals and note cards. So then over the next 5 years, while running this beautiful store and a team of retail associates, still photographing anything and everything we could get our hands on, weddings, families, babies, businesses. We also were doing workshops and teaching courses on hand lettering, photography, calligraphy, paper crafts, like washi tape feathers. We started a mama and baby clothing line, and there's more. Like, a lot more. You should see how many domain names we own. Looking back now, we realize we were just two people, two very passionate people, but doing the work of 10. And all of this extra effort wasn't actually moving our business forward. Our profit margins were staying the same while our workload was just compounding. Work-life balance? There were times when if we didn't have something going on Saturday, and somebody reached out to us and said, hey, we have this photo shoot, can you do it for $1,000? Which was a third of our day rate at the time. We fell back on our mantra at the time of, well, $1,000 is better than no $1,000. Sure, sign me up.
So flash forward to 2019, and Frannie and I found ourselves at a conference pretty similar to this one. And we were faced with making a big decision in our business. We zoomed out and looked at everything from a bird's eye view, and we were very proud of all of the things that we've created over the years. But we knew that we ultimately created a monster that we could no longer tame. This was unsustainable. There was no way that we could continue on the way that we had. And it was right there and then that we made that decision to let go of 80% of our services and focus in on that one thing that we have loved from day one, branding. Then we shortly moved into our dream studio, where we now run a vibrant content agency with a phenomenal growing team who we are so proud of, right up here in the front row. And we now work exclusively with small businesses, helping them tell a balanced brand story through brand coaching and photography services and online courses so they can learn from anywhere. Which led us right here to this place, right in this moment, on this stage, where we are talking to you guys. And I'm so overwhelmed with that feeling because, I mean, this is amazing, absolutely amazing.
Holy shit. Basically, when we were working on this talk and trying to come up with what to talk about, and they were like, just inspire the people. We went through this whole story and we were like, okay, what have we learned? What have we figured out? And we were like, okay, holy shit, we do actually have a formula.
So our formula that we have figured out was born during a team meeting. Our sales manager was going through all of the discovery calls that she had that week, and we were trying to decide which clients were for us and which ones weren't. She brought up this one client that sounded like a real pain in the ass, like right out of the gates. She said that they wanted a custom package that had a few services that were sort of hand in hand with what we did, but were a little outside our wheelhouse. We could already tell that they were going to be really difficult to work with. They had every single step of the process had to go through multiple levels of approval. And my favorite part about this whole scenario is that the people that she had talked to hadn't yet convinced their boss of the value of what we were delivering. That's super fun. So they refused to use our preferred client workflow and simply just wanted to throw money at the problem. We're like, yeah, no, we're not taking this client. And our team was shocked. I mean, why would we turn down a client with such a big price tag when they could get us that much closer to our financial goals?
All right, we got a little giggle when she mentioned that it was going to be a pain in the ass. So who's been faced with this problem before? Maybe, okay, who's actually said yes to a project that you knew before going into it was going to be a huge pain in your ass, probably not worth it, but you do it anyway? Okay. How many of you said yes to something that you actually had no idea how to do it, but you're like, I'll figure it out when I'm like in the middle of it? Cool. What about this one? Okay, well, I'm going to do this one, and then as soon as I get through that, as soon as I get through this project or client, or this week or month or year or whatever, then I'll be able to work on the business of my dreams and do what I actually want to do. I don't know. Okay. Liars. Okay, how about this one? I'm just going to mark it up so much that the client will probably say no. I'm getting a nod right there. But if they say yes, at least it'll be worth it. A friend called it the asphalt tax. I like that.
So back to our meeting. We're like, no, hard pass. We're not taking this client. And we reflected back on some times in our business that we probably would have said yes to a project like this and then later regretted it. We started just going through all of the different scenarios, and to illustrate the point, Frannie drew a horizontal line on the whiteboard. Hard on the left and easy on the right. She said, this is like a 1 on the scale of hardness. I mean, this client sounds like they're gonna be really, really hard. And we want easy clients like XYZ. And we started going through all of our current clients that we just super love working with and are very easy. So we started just going through all of the different variables and mapped them out on the board. And the first version of what we now call the Easy Fun Matrix was born. We tested it, tweaked it, and we even created a sciencey chart. So now it's law.
Yeah, so this great picture of our team meeting with our lovely customer service person who lives in Florida joining us. Cute story. Good job, Nichole.
She is real. She's
a real person. Yeah, so this happened. It was totally, what started off as a joke, we realized we're actually onto something, and now this is actually what we use all the time. You'll hear us, it's almost like an inside joke, but we're sharing it more and more, and every business owner I share it with is like, tells me weeks later, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm still using this all the time. So, are you guys ready to learn the formula? For how to be fulfilled at work every day, never face burnout, fuel those creative juices, and make more money? We like money? Who likes money? Come on. All right, so like she said, we've got a horizontal x-axis here, hard on the left, easy on the right. And for simplicity's sake, we're using these like very elementary words, but okay, hard means there's a lot of resistance. It could be, I don't have the skills yet, I don't have the tools to do this. There's gonna be a lot of people, a lot of roadblocks, like the client that we described in that potential client scenario. Easy, opposite, no resistance. The easiest thing, we can do it in our sleep, right? Like all day long, I know this back and forth. Okay, y-axis. What's the thing that leads all of our decisions the most? What do we want the most for being entrepreneurs? We wanna have fun. No? I don't know about you guys, but I wanna have some freaking fun. So fun is at the top of our list, always has been. It's what got us into all that trouble that we showed you earlier. All that stuff was actually really, really fun for us. Fun also represents that it's really fulfilling for you. It's something that you want to be able to say you did it. It's your passion projects. It's your, what did she say, your BHAG? That's the fun stuff. Did I get that right? BHAG? It's going to impact a lot of people, right? And what is the opposite of fun? Boring. Yeah. We got big vocabulary here. So boring stuff, tedious, flat, lifeless, right? All right, so I'm gonna go through the 4 quadrants really quick, and instead of telling you a bunch of stories about times that we've had these things come up for us, we are just gonna let you guys kind of think about your own life. So first up, if you find something in this bottom left quadrant that's hard and boring, yeah, run. Like, hell no, run. Go like as fast as you freaking can, get out of there. This is your hard pass, do not proceed, and if you do, you will forever be cursed with my voice in the back of your mind saying like, I told you not to do it. And you might be thinking, what if it comes with a huge price tag? We already kind of covered that earlier. Doesn't matter. We've done it, been there, done that. So of you, it sounds like, so just remember this. Hard, boring, we don't do that. Basically anything underneath the 50% fun line, we're gonna try to avoid at all costs. Sometimes we have to do some of this stuff. When we move over into the easy, boring area, this is where creativity goes to die. When we get stuck in tedious, passive work, no creative bursts are going to happen, right? So anytime we can, we want to outsource and delegate anything in this quadrant. And if money's a little tight and we don't quite feel like we're at a place where we can outsource and delegate and bring on a team or anything like that, it's the one thing that we wish we would have done sooner in our business. A lot of things we wish we would have done sooner, but that's the main thing. And what we know for sure is that when money's tight, we tend to grab onto it so hard we white knuckle money, yeah? And when we're white knuckling money, we don't loosen our grasp enough even to be able to grab a fat stack that somebody's trying to hand us. We like can't even see it. So get some of this stuff out of there. There is somebody who thinks that whatever that is actually fun and easy. They're probably better at it than you. Which brings us to quadrant 3, fun and easy. This is your money zone, man. Yes, please, no brainer. Everything up here, we can do this. We can guarantee quality, efficiency. We've got the systems for it. And the really cool thing is once you're a little further along, you can start replicating yourself and outsourcing some of this stuff as well and bringing on more people. And we try to keep 80% of our workload for our business in this quadrant. Fun and easy. We literally draw this out and map out the clients that we have. And the opportunities are coming up, or a launch that we want to do, or anything like that. The cool thing about taking 80% here is that this money then bankrolls this quadrant over here. This is where the magic happens. So, like us, a lot of entrepreneurs end up doing a bunch of stuff in this one. A lot of fun, hard stuff, right? Because we like hard stuff. We're like, we can do hard stuff. I can work hard. I'm freaking not a, never mind, I'm not gonna say that word. That wasn't in the script. You know? So, especially creative people, we crave challenge, right? It drives us, it pushes us. So when something comes along that is all the way in this top left corner, all the way hard, all the way fun, are we gonna take that one? Yeah, hell yeah, that's the hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, this is where the big goals, this is that ultra marathon. It's gonna be really freaking hard, but if you're ever faced with something where you're like, if I don't do this, will I always wonder if it would have been the thing, right? We've got to go for it. But the problem is we can only do one thing here, maybe 2, but I really recommend laser focusing in on that one thing. Don't mess with marginally fun really hard. Just wait for the really, really fun, really hard stuff, okay? That's where the passion projects are.
So you might be asking, how can I start implementing this system in my life and my business? And you're gonna start by asking yourself what we call the laser questions. So take a new opportunity and just stick it where you think it might belong. Then you're gonna go through these questions, starting with L. If you won the lottery tomorrow and never needed another penny, would you still want to take this opportunity because it sounds like that much fun? Next, A, align. Does this particular project align with your overall goals and vision that you have for your life and for your business? Do you have the skills, the know-how, the tools that you need in order to complete this project to your standards that you've created? And how do you feel about it? What's the overall energy that you have when you think about taking this on? Is it energetic or do you feel drained? And lastly, are there any roadblocks, bottlenecks, or just total assholes that you know for sure are going to make this really hard? This is a practice of awareness, reflecting back on projects that you've taken on and deciding, was this where I thought that it belonged when I placed it in the matrix? Sometimes things are harder, funner, easier, boringer than we originally thought, right? If it was harder than you thought, take notice of that. Figure out, how did I create any systems that I could maybe make this a little bit easier next time? Maybe you developed some new skills that could make it more fun or efficient. But ask yourself the big question, like, would I take this again? Would I do this to myself again? Reflecting back after every single job is what's going to keep you in that practice of awareness. That's what's going to keep you intentional about the types of jobs that you want to take going forward. And if you do this each and every time, believe me, you will create the business and the life that you dream for yourself. Now, don't get down on yourself if you're in the middle of a hard, boring career. Just take notice of what you have going on and where you're putting your time and energy and just how it's affecting you.
Yeah? So, as creators, creative people, our greatest fear is losing that creativity. I know mine is. Because creativity is our ability to problem solve, to market, to connect with people, and to leave a legacy. So I know for me that there have been times in my life where my creativity was lost or like I just really couldn't tap into it, and those are the times that I felt the least happy. Which makes sense because there's study upon study that shows there's a direct correlation between creativity and happiness. Engaging in creative activities makes for a higher sense of well-being, and a higher sense of well-being sparks creativity. So if we're working in hard, boring, or even easy boring, day after day after day after day, we lose all of that. So I know for me, if I could ensure that I would never lose inspiration and I could always tap into it, that I would never be stuck in creator's block, then I would actually trust myself to solve all of these creative problems. And in turn, I would feel so much more confident selling myself and my services to those really awesome, big dream clients. I would feel really safe taking on those big opportunities. And ultimately, I'd have a career that I love and make a lot more money doing it.
So remember that motto that we told you guys earlier, the $1,000 is better than no $1,000? No, it's not. No amount of money is worth suffering through a soul-sucking project while you're ultimately giving up opportunities that could actually be bringing you closer to your goals. No amount of money is worth the feelings of resentment, shame, or guilt that we are ignoring the things that actually light us up. And no amount of money is worth giving up that thing that we need not only to just keep the lights on, but that we need to survive our creative genius. Hard, boring work does not build character. It breeds burnout. So as creatives, if our biggest fear is the idea of losing our inspiration, maybe the question isn't, how do I find more inspiration or how do I create it? Maybe the real question is, how do I not diminish it? And the answer to that is simple. Be easy, stay fun.